Hello everyone and welcome back to another fantastic episode. This is episode 34 of a series about how I created a logistics company from the ground up. So far, the development has been incredible, if not always smooth. I'm dead set on showing you every step of the process and every obstacle you'll encounter while starting a business from the ground up. I'm able to impart some financial advice that I've gathered by reading books and starting businesses in our episodes. This practical wisdom is a drop in the bucket compared to the lessons you'll learn while trying to create a business from the ground up. I hope you will gain a lot of knowledge while still having a good time on the drive. In today's episode, I will be transporting cement to Erfurt and also will be explaining to you some basic rules of money that you should know. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more amazing videos like this. Have fun! When it comes to personal finance, the keyword is personal. There are no one-size-fits-all rules for running your budget, savings, retirement planning, or other aspects of your financial life. With that said, some general, tried-and-tested rules can prove useful for planning your financial life. While you might decide to tweak these rules in the application, they can be helpful for guiding your financial decision-making. So without further ado, here are some financial rules of thumb that will help you rock your budget and retirement savings, future financial planning, and more. Number 1. Pay yourself first. This is an old rule of thumb that helps you save, rather than spending all your money. Even if your budget is tight, as soon as you get paid, put some money into savings. Saving first rather than last means you're much more likely to save money instead of spending it. Number 2. Add your raise to your savings account. Once you've achieved a salary that funds a lifestyle you're content with, don't move significantly above that. When you get a raise, put it into savings rather than spending it. This can help avoid the problem of lifestyle inflation while growing your savings significantly. Number 3. When an appliance breaks, buy a new one if the appliance is 8+ years old or the repair would cost more than half the replacement cost. This goes for things like fridges, TVs, dishwashers, etc. Get an estimate on the repair cost. If that cost is 50% or more of the replacement cost, you're usually wiser to just replace the broken appliance. And for older appliances, you might consider doing the same even if the repair costs are lower. Older appliances are more likely to have subsequent issues with other parts. Number 4. Use 1 to 2% of an unexpected windfall for a treat, but bank the rest. Whether it's a gift, an inheritance, or an unexpected bonus, use just a small percentage to treat yourself right away. Put the rest in the bank, and give yourself a few months to think about the wisest way to spend that unexpected money. Number 5. Try the 50-30-20 rule for budgeting. If you're new to budgeting, try allocating 50% of your take-home pay towards necessities, food, shelter, utilities, clothing, etc., 30% towards lifestyle choices, vacations, gym fees, hobbies, cell phone plans, etc., and 20% towards financial goals and priorities, extra debt payments, savings, etc. This isn't a perfect budget, but it can be a good place to begin. Number 6. Track at least your problem spending areas. Some people like a very detailed budget. If you don't want to track every line item, then track at least those areas where you tend to overspend, whether that's dining out, buying new clothes, or spending on kids' items. This can help you control your spending without being bogged down by an over-detailed budget. Number 7. Spend about 10 to 15% of your budget on food. This includes groceries as well as dining out. If you struggle to keep your budget within this range, find places to cut back. Number 8. Allot 2 to 10% of your budget for personal items. This includes items like entertainment, getting your hair cut, and buying clothing, which would take up no more than about 8% of your monthly budget. This is a flexible area though, and you can always cut back if you need to save more money. Number 9. Save 3 to 6 months expenses in an emergency fund. There are lots of different rules of thumb for this one, but this one makes the most sense for most people. Remember, this is expenses, not income. And if you're in a volatile field of work or the economy is in a downturn, consider saving 8 or even 12 months worth of expenses. Number 10. Use the rule of 72 to determine how long it will take your investment to double. To use this rule, divide 72 by the expected growth rate of your investments, expressed as a percentage. If you expect to earn 10% per year, for instance, it'll take you about 7.2 years to double your money. Number 11. Aim to have your portfolio double about every 10 years. How do you know if your investments are on track and growing well? One rule of thumb is that your portfolio, if well managed, should double about every 10 years. Your mileage may vary, of course, but if you're not even close to doubling after a decade, consider rebalancing your investments. Number 12. Put no more than 30 to 35% of your net income towards minimum debt payments. This is the rule if you have a mortgage. If you don't have a mortgage, then you should put no more than 30 to 35% of your net income towards both minimum debt payments and your monthly rent. This is a somewhat high figure, and it's always better to have even less of your income devoted to debt. But the 30 to 35% range is what mortgage lenders, in particular, will look at when considering the debt-to-income ratio. Number 13. Pay off your highest interest debt first. You'll find lots of disagreement about debt repayment methods, but this is the one that will save you the most and get your debt paid off most quickly. One time you might want to deviate, if you're trying to boost your credit score quickly. In this case, first, pay off any credit cards that are currently maxed out. Then, pay off debt from highest to lowest interest rate. Number 14. Save 10 to 20% of your income for retirement. The old rule of thumb was to save 10% of your gross income for retirement. That seems to be a little low these days, especially for younger workers who may not have a pension to fill in the gaps. Aim a little higher than that, especially later in your career, if you really want to be ready for retirement. Number 15. Subtract your age from 100. The resulting number is the percentage of your portfolio you should invest in stocks. If you're 50, for instance, you should invest about 50% of your overall portfolio in stocks. This is another rule of thumb that can vary greatly. If you're more risk tolerant or planning to work and invest longer, you could bump this rate up. If you're less risk tolerant or want to retire early, you might consider a more conservative style. Number 16. Always take the employer match on your retirement account. If your employer offers any match at all for retirement investments, save at least enough to get that match. Number 17. Plan for your annual retirement needs by calculating your current pre-retirement expenses, plus 10%. Many rules of thumb say to aim to live on a certain percentage of your current income in retirement. But if you're saving a significant portion of your income and still living well, this may not make sense for you. Instead, use your expenses to calculate your annual retirement needs. Number 18. Save for retirement first, and your kids' college expenses second. This is counterintuitive for parents who spend their lives putting their kids first. But remember, your child can borrow, if need be, for college. You cannot do the same for retirement. Number 19. Limit your student loan borrowing to your first year's expected annual salary. To keep your student loan borrowing in check, do some research on typical first-year salaries in your field. Keep your student loan's total balance to this amount or, preferably, much less. Number 20. Put at least 20% down when you buy a home. This is a good idea for two reasons. For one, it limits the total amount you borrow on your home, leading to significant savings over time. For another, it means you don't have the added expense of private mortgage insurance, PMI. Also, it makes you much less likely to go underwater on your home if the market has another major downturn. With that said, those are some of the common rules about money that I thought you should know. Thanks for listening, and let's now focus on the road. We have finally arrived at our destination. Along the way, I made my daily loan installment and I bought fuel. Those are the main expenses I had for the day. My client has paid me €5,054 and I am very happy with the progress. Thanks for watching. Until next time, bye.